सो आज का टॉपिक फैमिली बिजनेस है।
Sure.
सबसे पहला क्वेश्चन ये आता है दिमाग में कि धंधा करने के लिए क्या स्कूलिंग, कॉलेज या हायर एजुकेशन इज इम्पोर्टेंट कि गद्दी में ऑफिस में बैठने से हो जाता है? That how do you personally manage family and family business? Have you solved that nut or?
Jagannath, yes, I think. So when I came back, my father was like कि तुमको क्या करना है? And then I was like करना तो हेल्थ केयर में कुछ है, but जो आप कर रहे हो वो तो शायद नहीं करना है.
Welcome everyone to another exciting and fun-filled episode of Think Tank with Aman. आज बात करेंगे एक ऐसे टॉपिक की जो हर एक इंडियन फैमिली की डीएनए में होता है, फैमिली बिजनेस। अच्छा, दिन की शुरुआत भी बिजनेस से होती है और दिन खत्म भी बिजनेस पे होता है। फ्रॉम द मॉर्निंग टी टेबल डिस्कशंस टू द लेट नाइट डिनर टेबल डिस्कशंस, स्पेशली मारवाड़ीज ओनली टॉक अबाउट बिजनेस। बट इज एजुकेशन इंपॉर्टेंट इन अ फैमिली बिजनेस? That's the agenda for today. And for that, we have a person who has transformed his family business in the last 15 years into a healthcare empire. From hospitals to diagnostics, from super specialty diabetes care to home healthcare services, everything under one umbrella. Awarded the Entrepreneur of the Year, the icon of North Bengal, a graduate from Jain University, Bangalore, an alum and a diploma holder in healthcare from the prestigious Indian School of Business, and finally, currently, an alum of the Stanford University's Seed Transformation Program. Let's welcome the brainchild and the founder director of Kins Health, Mr. Sumit Sinhal, to the show. So Bhaiya, have you ever recorded a podcast before?
I would not say exactly a podcast, but I was invited by Khabar Samay. They were running a series on what the future of Siliguri is going to be, and they had invited a few people from Siliguri town who have seen the city grow and what is it that they think the future is going to be. So yeah, 1 hour recording there, and this is my second one.
So amazing. So let's get to the point of this podcast. So basically, the main agenda why I started Think Tank is to help any 18-year or 21-year-old who is struggling with making career choices to get advice or inspiration from someone who has cracked it in that field. So आज का टॉपिक फैमिली बिजनेस है।
Sure.
So सबसे पहला क्वेश्चन ये आता है दिमाग में कि धंधा करने के लिए क्या स्कूलिंग, कॉलेज या हायर एजुकेशन इज इम्पोर्टेंट कि गद्दी में ऑफिस में बैठने से हो जाता है? सो व्हाट्स योर टेक ऑन दैट?
Yeah, so I think this is a chicken and an egg question that comes a lot of time. कोई बोलता है कि there have been billionaires who never went to school, and then there are also people who have had formal educations and they are the CXOs, CHOs of multinational billion-dollar companies. But I look at it from a different lens altogether. ये question अगर आपने मेरे को पूछा होता 20, 25, 30 साल पहले, तो शायद मैं बोलता कि आप गद्दी में बैठ जाओ तो शायद आप अपनी फैमिली बिजनेस को मेंटेन कर सकोगे, बट नॉट एनी मोर नाउ. Businesses are expanding at a rapid pace, and the way we do businesses are also changing. The world is becoming a global village. Now gone are the days कि अपने एक फिक्स जोग्राफी में फिक्स प्रोडक्ट के साथ में डील करते थे. So if today we say that yes, you can do business in the decadent ways that we used to do in olden times, definitely not. So to do the new age businesses, new age knowledge is required, for which definitely good education is required.
So what kind of education, for example, for an 18-year-old जिसको पता है कि मेरे को आखिर में फैमिली बिजनेस ही घुसना है, so what is one or two ideal routes to follow after schooling? तो क्लास 12 तक तो कर लिया, उसके बाद what do you think is the way?
See, I would not advise anybody to think of things like that कि मेरे को तो फैमिली बिजनेस में ही आना है. एक एक बिजनेस की एक एक लाइफ साइकिल होती है, और आपके फैमिली बिजनेस में टेलविंड्स है कि हेडविंड्स है, आपको वो देखना ज़रूरी है. एंड नॉट जस्ट यू एज एन इंडिविजुअल, बट आई थिंक एज अ फैमिली वी हैव सीन दैट बिजनेसेस मैच्योर एंड सो डू दी इंटायर वैल्यू चेन ऑफ बिजनेसेस. तो आप सिर्फ ये फिक्सड माइंडसेट से सोचोगे कि आपको फैमिली बिजनेस में ही आना है, आई एम नॉट श्योर इफ दैट इज़ अ वेरी वंडरफुल थिंग टू डू. अगर आपके बिजनेस में टेलविंड्स है, आपको लग रहा है कि ये बिजनेस फ्यूचर में ग्रो करेगा, देन डेफिनेटली दैट इज़ अ गुड लॉन्च पैड दैट यू हैव फॉर योर बिजनेस. बट इफ यू सी इवन इन सिलीगुड़ी वी सॉ दैट वी आर प्राइमरीली अ ट्रेडिंग इकोनॉमी, स्पेशली फॉर मारवाड़ीज, सम इन सर्विसेज बट प्रीडोमिनेंटली अ ट्रेडिंग, नॉट इवन मैन्युफैक्चरिंग. तो अपने को ये देखना पड़ेगा कि what is the future of the industry that our family business is in already. If there is a lot of potential, then definitely you would want to choose to do that. If not, then you should understand the entire value chain of that industry. Like what I did was, I'll give you my personal example. We were into pharmacy and we were direct distributors for 40 pharmaceutical companies. And while I came back 14 years back after my studies, I saw that definitely there is a lot of online pharmacies coming. A lot of headwinds are there with regards to challenges that a lot of corporates will come to start selling medicines, right? And I very consciously made a decision to kind of pivot into the provider space. How is it that we can come up with a diagnostic from a different view altogether? How is it that we can get into a hospital so that we pivot? We are in the same industry, but we pivot to do something where we do not face massive competition and which has got a lot of growth potential. So I suggest all the 18 to 20-year-olds, those who will be just moving out of school, to kind of make sure if you are into family business, big, small, whatever the size may be, it is very important that you crystal ball gaze into the future, maybe 10 years, 15 years, because that would be the time that you would probably study, come back, or directly get into business as to what the future of the business is. If you feel that there is a lot of potential, definitely you should come back. If not, then you should think otherwise.
Very, very true. I think that's very important. I think in India, I was reading somewhere 85% of businesses are family owned and 75% of India's GDP is through family businesses.
Yes, that is true.
This is true कि you should obviously gauge the future, but what is happening currently is कि ये भी हो रहा है कि बहुत सारे renowned big family houses, the next generation or the younger generation aren't very willing to come back because they feel कि a lot of challenges from the family side or from a control side, ये aspect आ रहा है. That is why people want to start up something of their own eventually. So what is your take कि whether they should come, because इतना बड़ा family empire अगर किसी का set किया हुआ है, so I'm not sure. What is your take on that?
So, again, Aman, I think this is a difficult question to answer for somebody who is bubbling with a lot of energy, wanting to do something of their own. But I think the dust settles with the storm. And of the storm that is there inside, once that settles, I think all the dust will also settle. In the sense, what I'm trying to say here is, see, if you already have a foundation, businesses are not easy things to do. And to build a sustainable business which is going to stand the test of time and which can, which has the potential to do the fortunes for the future is definitely not an easy job. More so, as a founder, we feel that yes, like we hear कि हम भी बना लेंगे, कुछ भी कर लेंगे. It is good for a euphoria, but a good team, a solid plan, a good market, a good customer understanding, a good base is very much required. So for anybody blatantly thinking of not wanting to come to family business, I think absolutely that is not the right way to go ahead. There is a lot of family business education that has started in the country, especially in India, because we, like you said earlier in this podcast, that a lot of businesses in the country, more than 50% of the business is controlled by family businesses. So a lot of good premier institutes have started teaching family business. And like you said कि ये एक जिंक्स रहता है कि पेरेंट्स के साथ जेल होगा कि नहीं होगा, हमें अपना कुछ करना है. तो definitely you get to create a niche for yourself in your own company, and that ecosystem will get generated. But you should not shun the idea of trying to come back to family business.
And do you think parents sometimes push their kids into family business? What is your say on that?
Initially, yes. But I think now with the advent of technology, parents have also started understanding the fact that yes, the kids should also have a leeway with regards to what they want to do. और ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि आपने एजुकेशन कंप्लीट करा और आपको इमीडिएटली फैमिली बिजनेस में आना है. बिजनेसेस आर हियर टू स्टे. फैमिली बिजनेसेस इतने जनरेशन से चल रहे हैं, कोई थर्ड जनरेशन, फोर्थ जनरेशन से भी चल रहे हैं. इफ़ यू रियली वांट टू डू समथिंग ऑफ योर ओन, इफ़ यू वांट टू गेट अ गुड कॉर्पोरेट एक्सपोजर, सो से फॉर इंस्टेंस इफ देयर इज a CA firm, family owned CA firm, so and there are 3 or 4 people in the family, one kid of the family, if he or she has done a CA or an MBA or is a business analyst, he might as well go and work with the big 4, either as a consulting.
Get a few years of experience.
Of course, get the best practices that the world has to offer and come back to the family business. We see a lot of corporate scions also. They don't actually come back to their businesses directly. So I know of a few people, not that I'm being able to name them now, but they work for good multinational companies abroad. in related industries, maybe their suppliers, maybe their customers, and then they understand the entire value chain of the industry, and then they come back to their own businesses. That is how you add value. So I think
You get a macro understanding of how
Abs-
the world is moving towards.
absolutely, I think that is the way of looking at it. You should not be myopic in our approach as to I need to finish my education and go join my dad's business or the family business. I think you should look at it from a different lens altogether as to can you go do a small stint at your customer's place? Can you understand who your suppliers are? Can you go and work with your suppliers for a couple of years? Understand what are the gaps in the market? How is it that your business, wherever you are, whatever your company is doing well? What is the gray areas? What is the growth potential? What are the pillars of transformation that once you go back and add to your business, how can you become the chief strategic officer for your company and come up with newer ideas to kind of shape the future of the business?
True, very true. So अब जैसे you said कि nowadays a lot of family business institutes have come up. अभी भी इंडिया में ये भी चल रहा है कि जैसे business coaching is the new trend. I think it is growing every year by 20%, and the names of some of the very famous prominent names like Rajiv Talreja, Rahul Jain are picking up, and people are like young individuals from tier 2 cities are flocking to get advice from them. So what's your take on business coaching? Is it relevant for everyone? किसको करना चाहिए?
So, Aman, to that, I would say there is formal education and then there is informal education. I think there is some format of formal education that is something that everybody should have. जैसे कि नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी में बोलते हैं कि आपको 12th तक का एग्जाम कम से कम क्लियर करना चाहिए एंड देन यू आर फ्री टू चूज योर फील्ड थिंग्स लाइक दैट सिमिलरली कमिंग फ्रॉम एन ओल्ड स्कूल a little bit of old school new school that I am, I feel a little bit of formal education is very much required. Business coaching is good, but you need to have a little bit of experience of business before going for coaching. If you are rock cut out of a school or probably just under graduation, I am not sure if that would be the best place for the best time, I would say, for you to go for business coaching. You should try your hands in understanding whatever you are working for some company or you're working for your own business or however it goes. Maybe try for 3 or 4 years, understand the basic functions of the organization. How does the HR system works? What are the operations like? What is going to be the future of the company? How does the finances work? What are the operations like? Once you kind of understand the entire piece together, then is it that I personally feel that you should go for coaching or business consulting courses and stuff like that, wherein you will be able to appreciate what they are teaching, what they want to tell you, and also of the names that you are wanting to take. They talk in frameworks. There are a lot of business frameworks which are probably adopted by smaller and bigger companies alike. So if you don't understand your organization well, I think it will be very difficult for you to kind of comply with those frameworks and bring them back to your organization. So a good work experience of about 3 to 5 years is something that I would suggest.
But is it relevant for everyone? I mean, a lot of structures or frameworks that they suggest might very well go with you might say mid enterprises, but for small scale enterprises who operate from tier 2 tier 3 cities might not be relevant because it's very very difficult to implement that kind of structure, to hire that kind of manpower, get that kind of manpower that they suggest.
No, by framework I don't mean a cut copy paste. It is a experience that you have as a person. So if I would give you an example of a customer persona, do you as a founder of your company or a family business owner understand exactly what is the customer persona type? What are the segments that your customers are in? What is the value that you are giving to your customers? So when you go for any kind of formal education or coaching, so to say, it is also a mindset that you develop. It is not just about cut copy pasting the framework that they probably teach you. Also, it is not like a lecture that you attend. It is an entire experience of about 18 months or 9 months or 12 months or something like that, and it's an a la carte menu. So it is not that everything can possibly be adopted back into your business, but you can cherry pick things that you think are relevant to your business, whether you are into services, manufacturing, trading, or so to say other industries.
ठीक है, आई थिंक दैट इज़ वन वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एडवाइस. एक और ये भी है कि यू हैव डन एन एडवांस्ड डिप्लोमा फ्रॉम ISB into healthcare. So, and a lot of students nowadays want to do a post-grad, particularly masters. So, should one, suppose अगर मैं printing business से हूँ, so should I specialize and do a master's into printing, or should I do a generic MBA or a master's in finance kind of stuff?
So मेरे को लगता है जब मैं क्लास 10th और 12th में था, मेरा ये चैलेंज था कि मैं क्या करूँ. I think the entire genesis of how Think Tank started was to help people understand, answer the question कि मैं क्या
क्या
करूँ.
करूँ?
So वो क्या करूँ का आंसर क्या है ना, I think sometimes you need to think from your head, sometimes from the gut. So this question has to be answered from the gut. Everybody is cut out to do something. और ये क्वेश्चन आपको आंसर करना पड़ेगा. What is it that I am cut out for? आप कितना भी पॉडकास्ट सुनो, you go to think tank, and there are a lot of others, you talk to your seniors, you talk to your parents, you talk to 100 million people. But ultimately वो बोलते हैं ना, सुनो
अंदर
सबकी
से आया,
करो अपने
करो
मन
अपने मन
की.
की.
So you will have to ask your gut, because your mind will kind of give you a lot of hallucinations, but your gut should give you the right answer as to what is it that you are deeply passionate about. And I have one personal experience that I have of being into business for close to 1.5 decades now is, for someone to become successful in life, the passion has to meet the purpose. And business is done for a purpose, right? To solve a problem in society. If you are not passionate for that business, definitely that purpose will not be met. So if you are an 18-year-old, 20-year-old, I think first you have to identify the passion. If you understand what your passion is, I think you will definitely figure out a purpose that you want to create. So that's my 2 cents there.
Now, since you have built so many businesses in the healthcare, how does the future of healthcare look like with AI robots and AI doctors coming in outside India? So where do you see the future?
Yeah, so before going to the future, present is anybody who comes to my healthcare facility और मैं पूछता हूँ कि फिर मिलेंगे, तो लोग बोलते हैं कि नहीं आपसे कभी फिर नहीं मिलेंगे. We don't want to come and see you.
True, I think that's the place people don't want to visit.
Yeah, so I have started telling people now that, okay, I don't generally, we say see you, right? So I don't generally say see you, I say take care. So that is what I have learned over a period of time now. But yes, of course, healthcare, as like other industries, is going through tremendous transformation, and there is a lot of opportunities in healthcare. May it be the provider side, that is the hospital's diagnostics, may it be the insurance side, may it be technology that is acting as an enabler and at the same time disruptor, artificial intelligence that is kind of coming in. जैसा हम देख रहे हैं कि in the creator economy, e-commerce, a lot of other industries. So is the case with healthcare as well. Wearable devices, preventive healthcare. So if you want me to go a little deeper, I would like to kind of share this thought. We humans as species have always been focused on curative health.
Curative.
But now when people are getting more conscious, the world is getting both younger and aging at the same time. Younger people with the more disposable income available to them. Economies are maturing. A lot of preventive health is coming.
Very true.
So a lot of new technology, both in terms of wearable devices and at the same time medical treatments available for preventive health. DNA testing, gene-based testing, predictive health is becoming the buzzword in the healthcare industry. So there's a lot of exciting things happening in the industry, and we are hoping to unlock a lot of potential of the human body.
We can see with new age gyms and healthcare focused nutrition.
Yes.
The world is getting towards preventive healthcare.
Yeah, and words like biohacking and stuff like that and all are kind of...
It's scary at times to hear some terms, but yeah, that's where the world is. One thing that's very, very important in family business, जो मैंने भी सीखा है, is family. The word family business is, the family becomes very, very important. So where do you see the role of family, and is it only helping or is it also becoming a challenge? And how do you personally manage family and family business?
Yeah, so I think it is a difficult nut or a piece to crack. I think both and this is more of a generational question than the business question, and how the society is weaved. And we as Indians, Hindu society that we probably belong to is weaved is we don't question our seniors. We never go against our seniors, even if we feel that is right or wrong or not. But one important thing that I would like to add here is there is a difference between disagreement, disobedience, and dishonesty. Disagreements are always okay. And I think both sides of the coin, that is the senior generation and the junior generation, to make sure that the transition happens properly, they need to understand the difference between all three. There can absolutely be disagreements. If you're sitting in a board, if you're sitting in the dukan ka galla, if you are sitting on a dining table, like you said earlier, if you're talking on the park, if you're on a trip on a Sunday with family and you and your dad are discussing business, there can absolutely be disagreement. But at the same time, there should not be disagreement. Sometimes what happens is the senior generation starts taking disagreements as dishonesty or probably disobedience. कि मैंने ऐसे बोला, how is it that it has to go the other way? So there has to be disagreements. There should be disagreements. But at the same time, we need to appreciate each other's points also. So that friction in family business will of course be there. But I think being personal at home and being professional in the workplace, both of it is equally important, and that for the transition to happen smoothly and for both generation to amalgamate and have that symbiotic relationship to make sure that the business flourishes, I think the understanding has to come from both sides, and just the effort from one side will not probably help us win the game.
So have you solved that nut or
Jagannath, yes, I think not just me, but yeah, me and my dad. So when I came back, my father was like कि तुमको क्या करना है? And then I was like करना तो healthcare में कुछ है, but जो आप कर रहे हो वो तो शायद नहीं करना है.
And how did you manage to go against him on that question?
No, he was totally in favor, so I did not have to go against him. So I was very fortunate. My dad has been very, very
Flexible,
supportive, yeah, for whatever I have been wanting to do for myself. And we have always discussed a lot of things. He has always expressed his experience of over 40 years now into the industry, but he always tells कि मेरे को ऐसे लगता है, बाकी तुमको जैसे अच्छा लगता है देख लो. So that is what
That's
happens.
the typical answer every parent I think gives.
But I will tell you something, in corporate world they say that to be a sounding board. वो बोलते हैं you should have a sounding board. But in a family business, the best person or the best sounding board is your father. And I think if you can get that sounding board,
Very true.
and why would the father is the best person with no biases for the best interest of his son and probably the daughter, also wisest son, and the business will give the best possible advice that he can give out of the rich experience. So I have been fortunate and lucky at the same time to get the best sounding board in my father, and I am sure that is going to be the case with everybody else as well. So yeah, that is what has helped me become what I am and get me where I am today.
We are near the end, so one or two important questions is what changes or challenges do you see in the family business coming in the future, and how should the next generation take it forward?
Yeah, so I think businesses are consolidating. Before getting to the family business, we should first understand the landscape of how business is being done. So I think all the people, those who are listening to this podcast, would probably know how the industrial revolution happened. We had the industrial revolution 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, and now we are seeing that we are at the cusp of 4 to 5, where we are transitioning from 4 to the world of AI, and that is absolutely a transformation that is going to kind of make a shift from industry 4.0 to 4.5. When I say that, what I mean to say is businesses will transform irrespective of whether they are family run or non-family run. It is even more difficult for family run businesses is because the kind of experience and more so for SMEs. So I also understand that a lot of viewers of this podcast are going to be small and medium enterprises, where a lot of time we are kind of stuck in the day-to-day routine that we do. We don't have a telescopic view of our business. A lot of times, like you said, a lot of businesses, more than 50% of the business are controlled by family business. But at the same time, if you see the life cycle, bigger, matured, professional companies have a longer life cycle as compared to family business. Why is that? Why? Because most of the family businesses are stuck into micromanaging their businesses. So when I say the future of family business, it is very important that mindset shift comes into play. And that mindset shift we cannot expect from the elder generation or the first generation or the second generation. This is where the role of good education, this is where the role of family managed business education, this is where the role of coaching comes into play. If you are the third generation, second generation entrepreneur, you already have a footing into the ground. You go back for a formal education, get an understanding how businesses are run. You can kind of do a snapshot or an X-ray of what is it that your business is about. You can superimpose that into the learnings that you've had and the business that you do, and then you can bring the best that the world has to offer. So I think, of course, businesses are maturing, and of all the revolutions that are happening, it is important that you stay ahead of the curve and bring the best that the business requires today to give tomorrow, so that you can stay probably relevant in the future.
So amazing. I think a lot of sound advice for all those watching. So we'll go to the fun part, and that's the final part. That's the rapid fire.
Should I be scared about it?
No, no, no. So 2 or 3 ground rules. It has to be rapid, as the name suggests. 1 or 2 word answers, and it is what it is. So whatever comes to your mind at the first go, that should be the
I'm
answer.
scared.
So we'll start. First is, what's the best advice you have ever received about running a business?
One great businessman of Siliguri city told me, बोला सुमित, labor oriented business मत करना, it is going to be the world of machines, so do something that has got a lot of automation in business.
True. I think handling manpower is
The
very,
biggest challenge. Yes.
one myth about family businesses that you would like to bust.
Younger generation feels that we do not have any space in the business, but sooner or later they realize that they are one of the most strongest plug in the whole game. So it is just a matter of time, guys. Be in the game and hang on.
Your favorite business leader?
Late Sri Ratan Tata, sir.
If you had to go back in time, startup or family business? Suppose you have both, so which one would you choose?
Startup inside a family business.
That's a mix of best of both worlds.
Yes.
A mistake you made early in your career that you laugh about?
I would not say laugh, but lament. I was not so serious with education until my 12th. That is what kind of helped me pursue education, and I'm still pursuing. So kind of making up for all of that. A boring answer, but yeah, that is how it is.
If not healthcare, which industry would you be in?
I don't see myself anywhere else. I'm so passionate.
You have to choose one. Suppose if healthcare was not there.
Second
best option.
I think I would have gone into public speaking and coaching.
Okay. Nice, different for Siliguri.
Yeah.
Next big $1 billion idea according to you? It can be in any industry.
I think creators becoming billionaires. Aman, I see you there.
No, not at all. And I think money or learning. So that's a very, very tricky question. But yeah,
I would say health, wealth, and happiness.
so that's there. Thank you so much, viewers. If you are interested or planning to get into family business, this podcast is definitely a must watch. Thank you so much, Sumit Bhaiya, for doing this. It was a pleasure hosting you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, viewers. Once again, stay tuned for the next episode. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. All the best.